This is the yarn I'll be using for these fingerless mittens. Drops Fabel print, Superwash treated sock wool. Okay, so I'm using the 60 cylinder Dean and Bean sock machine, and I'm just gonna hang in the 60 ring bonnet, and I'm going to hang every second needle. Okay, so then I'm going to start putting my waste yarn on, and I'll hang the remaining stitches that are low, lowered down in here, after, like when they come up. So I'm just going to put the waste yarn in, and I'm going to hang a little weighted clip on there. I'm also going to put my weights in, the soft weights. Restart my row counter, because I'm just going to do about 10 rows of waste yarn. Okay, so now all these are up, so I can hang these remaining loops, rings. There we go. Just go slow so you make sure every needle knits. Okay, so this black mark right here, this is the first needle. So we're gonna cut the waste yarn, and then I'm going to put in my Ravel cord on this first needle. So the Ravel cord is gonna go lay on this side of the first needle, and the waste yarn is gonna be on the other side. And you want to put your Ravel cord in. Okay. And I just kind of hold those tight. And you're going to do one row with the Ravel cord. Okay, so we're coming back to the first needle. Okay. So then you want to get your main yarn for your fingerless mitt. Okay, so take your Ravel cord out. And so now the Ravel cord is going to go on the right side of the first needle. So first needle is this needle. So you want it to go, oops. So you want it to go on the right side. And then your main yarn for your fingerless mitt is going to go on the left side. Okay, so I'm going to clip these all together with the weighted clip. So then I'm going to restart my timer, or my counter, stitch counter. And I'm going to do 22 rows. Okay, so this is the 22nd row. So this is where we're going to start hanging the hem. So I'm going to stop here, take out the weights. Just going to take out this weighted clip. Okay, so you want to find your first stitch. So this is your first stitch that you're going to hang on the first needle. So just going to bring it over. Oops. And hang that stitch. Okay, so then you go to the next one over right here and hang that. This is why you want to use a contrasting color for your waste yarn, so you can see exactly where your first stitch is of your main yarn. You want to put it on every single one. So you don't have any weights in, so you just hold it down as you turn. Okay, and keep on going. So this is the next one. Oops. Okay, so then when I turn it, I just push down on the stitches here. And keep on going. Right. Make sure you got all of them hung, and then put your weights back in. Okay, so then I'm gonna do 50 rounds. Reset my stitch counter. So I'm at 49. This is my starting point, and so my counter is right over here. So I'm going to stop when I'm over here because we're going to do the thumb. Actually, I need to do one more row. Okay. So now here's my number one over here. So we're gonna be working on these 20 stitches. So I'm just gonna knit until I am over here, and then we're gonna pull up all these needles that we're not going to be working on. Okay, so this is going to count as one row, but now on this side of the black, we're just going to pull all these needles up and out of work. And then on this side of this orange one, oops, I almost pulled that one up. I don't want that one up. Okay, that's good. We just want all these ones out of work. Okay, so now I'm going to finish this round, and that's going to count as one. We're going to be doing 20 rows just on these 20 stitches. Okay. I'm going to take my soft weights out. Okay, so engage your heel spring. And then I'm going to be using my fork weights. So these ones, I don't know if you can see that. My fork weights. Or heel weights, I don't know. Okay, so now you really want to be watching the end needles to make sure that they're knitting. So we're going to do 20. So I've done one already. And I'm just going to be kind of pulling on the yarn too. I usually push down right here. Okay. So that's 2. Three. So this is going to be 4. And I just like to make sure that this yarn is nice and tight there. Okay, there we go. Because these stitches, they tend to drop like when there's not a lot of tension on here. And okay, so this one is 5. So again, I just hold down on the fabric. There we go. So now this is going to be 6. There we go. See, they're starting to ride up a bit. Okay, this is going to be 7. Okay, this is going to be 8. I feel like I'm going to adjust my weights again. Okay, this one's going to be 9. I'm going to go to 20. Okay. So now this is going to be the 20th row. So I'm going to put in some little different colored yarn pieces as stitch markers on this one and this one, like the first and last. Okay, so we're just going to knit that one in there. And this one in here. Okay, make sure this one is in. Sorry if you can't see. Okay, so those are the 20 stitches, and we have our stitch markers in. So now we're going to do 10 more rows of the thumb. The exact same way we've been doing this. So do 10 more rows. I'm going to take out my weights. So take out the weights. You want to grab a latch hook. And we're going to cast off these stitches. So now we want to take the yarn and your latch hook, and you want to go through. So you want to go through the first loop, and then you want to make sure the latch hook goes over the loop. Oops. Oh no. What did I do? And you want to pull the yarn through. Okay. So now you want to go through the second loop. We're just going to go through every loop. So go through and make sure the latch hook goes over those two. Pull it through. Go to the next one. Okay. Pull it through both. Okay, so go through the next one. Through. Okay. Okay, and do that all the way to the end. You can cut it. I'm going to leave some because I want to sew up. Leave some to sew up the thumb. pull that through. Okay. So now you can take this off. Take it off of the hooks. Okay, so you're going to find your stitch where the stitch marker is. It's right here. And on the edge, you're just going to pick up those 2 stitches on the edge and put it on the 10th needle. So this is the 10th needle. And then you're going to be picking up stitches from these stitches here and putting them onto these needles. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Okay, so then once you're done hanging these, you can just lift these needles up. Okay, and then hang these stitches the same way. So from this stitch marker, so you find this stitch here. Find the end, the edge stitch, so right here. Okay, so pop that onto the 10th stitch, like that. And then put on 9 more stitches. is put my thumb down in there, and I'm going to put my fork weight up through. Careful because they are sharp. Just like that to hold those stitches down. And then I'm going to put my soft weight in. So I'm going to put these down because I'm going to start knitting here. Okay. So I'm going to put my yarn in. Hold that. I'm going to restart my counter. I'm going to do 2 rows. Then I'm going to set up for the faux ribbing. Okay, so I've tucked my yarn in, and I'm starting to put down all my needles again. And I'm going to do 2 rows. Just be easy when you're putting your needles down because you don't want the little latches to be out. I'm going to put my other weight in also. Okay, and then just go slow. Okay, so now I'm going to take out my weights. I'm going to take this out. So now we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to take this stitch that's on the 3rd one and put it onto the next one, and take out there we go, like that, and then we're going to take out this one. So we're going to do that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, and then move this stitch to the next one. And take that out. So just remember there's no weight in there, so when you're turning it, just make sure you are holding down your material. Okay. So this was the last one. So 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Take it off that one. And put it onto that one. Take that out. And do that all the way around. And because you don't have any weight in there, when you're turning, just make sure you're pushing down on your fabric, on your stitches. Okay, so then once you double check you got all of the ones out that you need to, put your weights back in. So put your weights back in and reset your stitch counter. Oops. And do 33 rounds. So now we can cut the main yarn and get ready for waste yarn. But I'm going to go right there. And you want to leave enough to crochet around the whole edge to close it. So I'm going to leave a good chunk of yarn. Okay, so take it out, put it in the center, and then take your waste yarn, put your waste yarn in the yarn holder, okay, and I'm going to do about 10 rows of waste yarn. Okay, and now you can cut your waste yarn, take it out of the yarn holder, put it into the center. And then you just want to crank it off your machine. Okay, so first I'm going to pull the Ravel cord and separate the waste yarn from your mitt. Just grab it, just pull it out. Right. you have this nice finished hem, and you can just trim this and weave in the end. So then to finish off the top part, you want to grab a latch hook, and you're just going to find your first stitch, so that's right up here. Pull that through, and then we're going to be going this way. So then you're going to go over to this side. Go through. And pull it through the one, and then yarn over again and pull it through both of them. So go through the next one. Oops, make sure you don't catch the waste yarn. So go through the next one, yarn over, go through one, yarn over, go through both. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around. Okay, so when you get around to the last stitch, so this was the first stitch, you want to go through this V here. So go through. Yarn over, and then yarn over again. Okay. And make sure that you've gone through all of the stitches. And pull that yarn through. Okay. So then once you've done all of the stitches, you can remove the waste yarn. I'm going to trim this. Remove the waste yarn. Okay, so then you can weave this end in. You have your finished end there. Okay, so then weave this in. I'm going to turn it inside out for the thumb. So you can take out these markers. Okay, so I have some extra strings here because I ran out of, my yarn was broken, so just ignore these. Okay, so then you want to grab a yarn needle. And this is the strand that I left long after we took it off the machine. Okay. So then you just want to go back and forth. And sew the thumb together. So I'm going to go so then I just go around, kind of whip stitch around this whole side of the thumb. Okay, and then once you get all the way down, tie a knot and weave in the ends. Okay, and then just trim and weave in all the other ends. And you can, once all the ends are weaved in, then you are done. And that's the finished product.